John White and his family came to America from County Antrim, Ireland. They were in the textile business, and they had mills in North Carolina and in several places in Georgia. He came to Athens to manage a mill for some local businessmen, but he eventually bought the mill from them and ran it quite successfully, and the town around the mill took its name from him and from his house, Whitehall. The house that he built at Whitehall was moved around 1900 and still stands in North Georgia. And his son built the house that we know today, and this belongs to the forestry department of the university. John White's monument took a big hit about 10 or so years ago when the winds came up from the hurricanes that hit Florida. They didn't hit Georgia, but they traveled straight up through Georgia and did massive damage in Athens, and particularly in the cemetery. Trees just toppled upon trees, and in this case, 3 trees, one after another, hit each other and then came into this monument, sending the urn on top right down to the bottom step here and breaking it, and breaking off other aspects of the decoration of the monument. The family of the descendants of the White family got together and hired the Shakora Foundation, which are the leading experts in cemetery restoration, to come in here and to restore this monument. And since it is one of the fine monuments and a central visual point in Oconee Hill, we are very grateful that the family did that. And we hope that we can interest other families in coming into the cemetery and restoring their lots. We think that when they see what is needed, they will write their cousins and come do it. I am looking at another lot that the camera is not on, that at the time I married and got interested in Oconee Hill Cemetery because it was the cemetery of my husband's first wife's family. They were writing to all of their kinfolks asking for money to restore several lots in the cemetery. And Mrs. West, my husband's first mother-in-law, was doing all the work of writing the letters, and her sister-in-law, Aunt Frances, was adding the P.S. to all the letters. And I think the P.S. really brought in the money, because Aunt Frances said, "Please hurry and be generous. Uncle Terrell's toes are about to stick out of the ground." So, because this was on a hillside and erosion was causing the graves to need retaining walls. So they got plenty of money, and I'm looking at 3 retaining walls that those letters paid for.